enterprise started in 1985, I think it was, maybe 84, by David Jackson. He's out planting right now. It started with 2 acres. I think just this home block from like here to the river, 2 acres in production, and has since over the past 25 or 6 years come to 70 acres. Kind of started like a small market garden. It has since grown to a full-scale organic production farm. The enterprise in a nutshell. A lot of stuff for market, A to Z, just to have it. Kind of famous for cooking greens and lettuces. Casey noted the other day that we grow really nice greens.
Very nice greens, very consistent, always very much in abundance, and people know us for that. It's very enterprise. It's where people go for farmers markets. They're like, oh, you guys have amazing greens. Not that other farmers don't, but we're very consistent.
Yes, so I think we do a lot of a mix for the farmers markets, and then we have a wholesale operation, which is lettuce, kale, collard, chard, cabbage, tomatoes would be the backbone of the farm. Employs 17 people, I think. And recently, last winter, started our CSA. Kind of caught some heat for calling it a CSA because we weren't growing anything during the winter. So we started calling it a farm share, but call it what you will. We were bringing in East Coast product all the way down from Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, even to Pennsylvania a couple times. And then New England grown carrots, potatoes, and celery, root, storage stuff. So that's going to have, the winter program's going to run through May, just a little bit into June before we start really kicking into gear up here. Then we'll start seeding in the greenhouse maybe March, I would say.
Yeah.
Start seeding.
Even earlier.
Yeah.
Actually. So yeah, throughout the winter, as well as keeping the CSA and wholesale going, we're going to be getting our crop plans together and ordering seed and getting all these greenhouses. We've planted a few greenhouses, so we'll get the ones that have not been planted ready for seeding and start with early greens, because we're doing lettuces and spinach and early kales throughout the whole year, so we start those pretty early.
Kind of a weekly schedule of, like Casey is saying, plan it out all winter, and then once the season starts, every week seed, 50 trays of red, green, and romaine lettuce. Just keep it going every week, keep the successions going, plant them, transplant every week, start harvesting, harvest all summer long, keep the CSA going, delivery to Boston. We do farmers markets. We do 4 a week. We do 2 in Boston, Somerville, and Brookline, and then 2 in Northampton. And we sell to Happy Valley right up the road, which is our wholesale arena. That's like pallets of lettuce all at once, a whole pallet of green leaf, a whole pallet of red leaf, mix and match of kale and collard. And that kind of sets the pace for the whole farm. It really lets us fill out those 70 acres. We started the winter program last year with, I think, 50, including here at the farm and 1 drop site in Boston, and grew substantially to 350 that winter. So we're expecting a big crowd this year. Maybe 700, we're hoping. People seem to like the winter deal.
It's really interesting because I never really pictured myself on such a larger scale like this, but in the winter it was like, I was very thankful to have a farm employ me. So it's cool, it's fun, it's always something different, it's always exciting. It's a lot of teamwork too, which I really enjoy. It's nice, the different crews, we're able to get a lot done in a day, it's a type of business.
I like it. I do, I went to school studying sustainable ag, and came here with Frank Menken's vegetable production class, and was kind of like mocking it, like watching a big subsoiler go through, and you know, I kind of had pictured the perfect world and what farming should be, and got out of school, right out of my Living Roots program, and was like, all right, I'm not a student anymore. I don't have a job. Like, what do I do in the winter now as, you know, an ag student? I walked in the door. I was driving past here and saw the greenhouses, and I just thought, what the heck? And I pulled in. There was Dave Jackson. I said, hey, you need a job? He said, yeah, let's go to Hadley. And I had like an interview in the truck. My first delivery right then. So it was pretty awesome. He called me a week later. Like I was saying, it's, you know, I learned about small farms, and then I never saw myself being on a farm this big, but it does a lot. You know, it produces a lot of food, and it keeps 70 acres under production rather than under development. At least that much, you know. Winter and spring is 850, and the small is 600. So it's a little pricier just because we buy everything in, we have to pay for freight, we have to box everything up, and make a profit. You know, a farm is a business, so you need to make money. But people really dug it. They thought it was awesome. They had fresh greens all winter. I mean, people an alternative to California and Israel, Chile, Argentina, and you know, you're giving people kale or chard and, you know, this kind of lettuce or that kind of lettuce. But great citrus, great avocados. I saw mangoes on the availability last year. We're going to get them in this year. We've got fennel, flat parsley, radicchio. I believe this is broccoli rabe, and then escarole here and a little bit back there. So kind of like an experiment to see if any of this is going to work for us. I think we're just going to let it go until December maybe. I mean, we might pick the parsley if it gets big enough, or some of this stuff, but the fennel will take a while. This was planned for like the fall and winter shares.